Welcome back. I am once again playing Pentiment. Last episode, we just had supper with the Baron, during which he tried to get everyone to talk about Martin Luther, and we tried to politely bow out of that conversation. On our way home, the anchoress had a vision of someone dying, and it's now storming quite badly, and there's a leak in our house. We still need to give the Gertner's taxes to Clara, but we got the money from Mathieu. We have our update in here that supper ended badly. An argument erupted between the Baron and the Abbot. Hopefully it will all get worked out in the morning. Something tells me it may not all get worked out in the morning. And there we've just cleared out our beach. Wow. Not too happy about the storm, I guess. Shh. It's alright, Ursula. Good morning. Do you need any help with Ursula? No, a little crying won't hurt her. Besides, I think we've gotten almost all the leaks now. There's one upstairs. Ursula is my first child and she's been a handful, but I think I have the hang of it now. Big Georg has been a godsend. He helped Christine with Ava when she was a baby. I never took you for a family man, Andreas. I have two older brothers, both married, so there are plenty of nieces and nephews for me to play uncle to. I appreciate the offer. You'll make a fine husband someday, Andreas. Ugh, when will this storm let up? It's been going all morning. Peter and Georg are outside, trying to deal with the flooding as best they can. You probably want to express concern about the people we're living with, and not just the people at the Abbey, which is on the hill anyway. Oh my, is the farm in danger? There's always a danger with this much rain, but we've lived through worse. Whatever happens, it will be as God wills it. We must have faith in Providence and endure what is to come. Oh, I have some food for you. Here. Sorry I couldn't prepare anything more. That's right, Otto did want to have me say hello to her. Didn't Otto ask me to say hello? He's probably courting her. So what? They're not married, are they? Neither are you. Yet. Why not test the waters? If I came between Otto and Ava, that would be pretty awful for everyone involved. I'm more just selecting that option just to see what Andreas thinks about it. Thank you. Otto wanted me to say hello, by the way. Oh, he did? Good, thank you. Have a good day at the Abbey, Andreas. Try to stay dry. Thanks, you too. Good luck. Doesn't seem like I have a cloak or anything now to keep me dry. Be good, Ursula. Do we just walk away when she comes toward us? Andreas? Oh, I didn't see that the wall was broken. Is that from the flood? It is. It must have broken in the night. Some of our sheep escaped. We'll have to track them down later. This is the way it always is. Rain falls on the abbey and rolls downhill to us little people. It's probably about more than just the rain. But also about the rain. Because they literally live uphill. Well, it's hard to blame the abbey for that. That's just how rain works. There's a reason we're down here and they're up there, Andreas. So, that's what I mean. Anyway, I have to get back to this. See you later. Stormy morning. Can't go this way or help them, talk to them. Go the other way. Hello, Andreas. Good morning, Andres. So, Otto and Ava, huh? Yes, what about them? Well, we already know that he doesn't want to gossip from when we had dinner with him before. How is their courtship developing? Doing fine, you think? I'm not a gossip, Andreas. So because we're an orator, we can try and put a nice spin on the fact that we are obviously just gossiping. Do not ask this to pour water onto the rumor mill. But for the concern I have for the happiness of my friends. Of course, Andreas. Fancy talk for being nosy. So he sees through the oratorical option. Well, if you ask me, I think Otto's being a bit too slow about it. Oh? He's old enough already not to be smitten like a boy. Helen, get down from there. Good girl. Stop barking. Thank you. They both like each other. It seems to me if you found the right person, you should go for it. That's what I would do. What stopped you? Well, that's, personal. This is manipulative. Ivan attended Sabine, waiting for me in Nuremberg, so I think that's the first time that we're getting the name of our fiancé. Where to marry once I finish my Wanderjahr. I'm not even sure if she's the right one, but it is a necessary step. It's not good for the soul to be alone, Andreas. I do hope to find someone to have at my side as we build a family. God has not given me this blessing. Worry not. It could happen at any moment, Andres. One hopes so. I must get back to work, Andreas. Enough talk. Till later. We can't go farther in this way, because we don't want to get our shoes wet. We have to go around a long way. God be with you, Andreas. Seems like we have a good spring storm, though I hope it lets up soon. Good morning. I'm sure it will let up soon. As God wills it. Ulrich, I paid Gret for last week's pumpernickel. Sorry to make you wait for it. It's no trouble at all. Please say hello to Lucky for me. course. Now I'm off to home and then to the Pipers. Good morning, Agnes. What's going on at the Pipers? Helena has about a month to go before her child is due. Her last one was hard. He didn't make it, God rest his soul. I just want to give her the best chance she can have. It is in God's hands, trusting Providence. So Agnes, I guess, is... yeah, she's the midwife. Always, Ulrich, but I'll do what I can to help. Why make the Lord do all the work? I must be off now. Good day to you both. And Andreas, stay out of the rain. Tell Helena I will pray for her health. She will appreciate that, Andreas. Thank you. Until later. Till later, Agnes. Hi. Hello, Andreas. And yeah, the midwife is right next to the baker on the map. And Werner, the doctor, is back here. But, back in these days, for the most part, you wouldn't have a doctor attend the birth, or be involved in that. Even though it sounds like Helena had complications last time, he might, like, die or, have her child die. Let's see if we can talk to Werner, or if he still hates us. No, locked. Steinauer house. This is where Agnes the midwife lives. And obviously she's not in, but she's left all of her candles burning, which is quite dangerous. I guess this must be her cat, Shalau. I feel like he was in a different place last time, but I might be misremembering that. Here's Lucky and Thomas. Father, I've said this before, but it isn't good that the water drains here so quickly. It's affecting the foundation. It needs to be looked at. I understand, but if you dig here, you may be disturbing the bodies decomposing in the yard. So a lot of the older monks, like Brother Adot and Brother Piero, they also have these like worn clothings. But I'm getting the sense that it's not actually meant to convey that the clothing itself is worn out, especially because it's like there's wear not just on the outer coat but throughout the drawing in general, even on the edges here. And I think it might just be meant to convey that the character's physically aged. Like, even his face has some of this wear on it. So it's not that his clothes are worn out, it's more like that he's older in general. Which is interesting. I quite like that. Of course, Father. They're going to be dug back up again anyway. Yes, but why disturb them unnecessarily? It's your church, Father, but you can't put this off forever. The foundation is going to crack. I understand. Perhaps after some of the bones have been moved to the ossuaries. Thank you, Lucky. Ah, good day, Master Mahler. Good day, Father Thomas. Well, everything alright with the church? Oh yes. Lucky was again reminding me of the danger severe rainfall can pose to the foundation. So this is like a recurring argument. So maybe he should start listening. The Lord looks after his flock, but sometimes the pen requires an earthly hand. It will be taken care of. God be with you, Andreas. Be with you, Father Thomas. Until later. Father Thomas has kind of an interesting, like, stride. He's got, like, a wide stance. It's a bit strange. We're gonna investigate, the rest of the areas instead of heading straight to the church, I think. We can't go in to see the miller's wife. But we can pet their dog, who's still left outside in the rain and cold. Poor Staub. What a curious mill. The wind turns the sails and now powers the grinding stone. Moving out this way. These are the kid's drawings. I think his name's Peter. The miller's son, anyway. I'm not sure we've met Krantz Bauer. The widow down here is the kind of pagan type woman. These wood carvings are quite curious. She's got some kind of pagan like artifacts out here. It must be a drawing of her and her late husband. You want something? Just snoop around your house. Johann Bauer Farm. Taking quite a detour to go around the area that was flooded. Just to be blocked with the scarlet petal that was here on our way out. Did you need something, Master Mala? No, but thank you. Hey, Master Mala. Kind of seems like nobody really has anything new to say this morning. Oh, but there is someone new up here. Old Otto. Good to see you, Andreas. Still moving down here. Doesn't seem to be an active saltworks in any way. which can be pretty dangerous. That they just have it open and exposed like that. Like what I learned, like 90% of the ground is undermined, and we fairly recently had a woman like just fall in to where one of the mines had been overfilled, and obviously she died. So it's pretty dangerous to just have that out there. So I wonder if that might play into the detective story that I know is coming. Till. Hello there, Master Mauler. Hello, Till. Bumped into any ghosts lately? Yeah, so he's also got the worn out ink. He's an older fellow. No, not since we last spoke. Good, good. Have you ever seen a nicer view? Don't get sights like this in the cities, I expect. I can't say that Nuremberg has many Roman ruins now. Oh yes, passing is full of them. Quite the marvels they are. I don't pay much mind to the writing on them, as I can't read Latin myself, but you might enjoy giving them a look. If you do, you'll have to tell me if they match the old legends I read about. This is judgmental, but also true, which is why he has the peasant script, even though the father also has the same script, I think, even though he can read. What sort of old legends? Well, when Father Matthias was abbot, he would let me borrow books from the abbey's library. I think I read through half of that library before Father Gernot became abbot. The more I look at that, I think it might be Gernot. Ah, so now he's got a fancier handwriting, because he's literate. The cursive style. He and Father Thomas are strict about which books should be read now. Books should glorify God, they say, not discuss the old pagan ways. Still, the accounts of the Romans in passing are my favorite. That old book talked about how the Roman knight Gaius Metellus defeated the, Gracie, I think it was. Heavy snowfall had him caught in this very valley, barbarians on all sides, when Mars sent a wolf to the knight. Instead of killing the beast, Gaius followed it to a magical spring with trees covered in all sorts of fruit. Mars provided the wolf in the spring, and Gaius Metellus founded passing after defeating the barbarians to honor Mars. This is interesting because we've heard this story from Brother Mathieu before, but instead of Mars, it was Saint Satya, the woman from the town, instead of the wolf who led them to a spring, and it wasn't Gaius Metellus, it was Saint Moritz, the Egyptian Roman soldier. So it's interesting that we have a different Roman soldier involved in this version of the story. That's where all this came from. Yeah, so Andreas is realizing the same thing. That sounds a lot like the story Brother Mathieu told me about St. Moritz. Without the Roman gods, of course. I hadn't thought of that. Those were snowed into this valley, weren't they? And saved near a spring. I wonder if it's the same story. Oh, I don't know about all that, Master Mahler. A lot of stories get mixed up over the years. It might be all fable, but I enjoyed the story all the same. It's nice to feel you're connected to those who came before you, even if it's only by the land you live on. Books connect us to the past we could hardly imagine existed. Well said. It's been good chatting with you, Master Mahler, but I'd better get back to work. You let me know if you find any particularly good books in that library, alright? I like Till. It's a shame that we can't tell him about the French book, but I guess he probably can't read French anyway. interesting here because we have M-A instead of M-O. But I guess it could have been spelled differently in Latin, since Moritz isn't really a Latin-sounding name. But it's not M-E for Metellus or anything like that. Maybe I'm looking too much into that. Can we go to the Roman ruins and try and look at those inscriptions that he was talking about? Or is it still just the drawings back there? Yeah. Martin? Hey, Martin. Get a friendly greeting from Martin. We were really nice to him, but he just tells us to eat shit all the time, so... I wonder if there's anything else we could have done to get a successful persuasion check on this, but I can't really think of anything. Eat shit, Andreas. Chew. I should get to the scriptorium. Garno will give me an earful if I'm late again. Niklaus. God be with you, Andreas. Are you still preparing to leave, even with this weather? The weather is unfortunate, but the Baron's wife, Lady Salamea, will be arriving today. My lord intends to depart as soon as she arrives. How long have they been married? 7 years now. She's a fine woman, a true lady. I was hoping to bid farewell to the Baron before he leaves. I'm sure he would appreciate that. He spoke highly of you before he went to bed. He was disappointed that you didn't debate him at supper, but he understands that you didn't want to anger the abbot. These are both tempting options. Part of the art of rhetoric is understanding the right form in which to persuade someone. That was not the right form for the abbot. My lord always wants to discuss things when the mood hits him. He's often alone and feeling it, unfortunately. I suppose I have a poor standing with the Baron now. But we still have enough to reach this persuasion check because we sucked up to the Baron previously, and because we mentioned that we like occult stuff, which is interesting. And I guess we only have one down because we declined eloquently, so that's good. No. In spite of what happened at supper, he still holds you in high regard. My lord bade me to give you a token of his friendship in his absence. He says it's a small thing compared to future commissions, but he hopes that you will wear it with pride. So that's good, we still got the networking hookup. What an extraordinary pin. Please thank the Baron for me. But I feel like if we go in wearing it, the abbot's gonna be even more mad. I will keep it secure until I have clothing worthy of bearing it. As you wish, of course. But where is Baron? Because he should still be here if Nikolaus is just preparing to leave, right? Where has your master gone then? He went for a walk early in the morning. He didn't say when he'd be back. I hope he returns soon. The rain is turning everything to mud. My lord might surprise you, Andreas. He never minds getting mud on his boots. Of course, I'm the one who has to clean them. The Baron seems to be quite an unusual man in many ways. Ah, it may be so. I only know him as my lord for these last 7 years. That reminds me, did you see a short, surly-looking young man in a hat on your way up this morning? Wink. I don't know that he would appreciate this. I feel like the rhetoric option is often getting us into trouble. But then, is this a way to kind of elide the subject without directly lying to him? That's interesting. Like, is Martin in trouble and we can avoid ratting him out? Wink! Surely you don't mean me. Ha, no. He was shorter than you by 2 hands at least. Okay, so that doesn't actually get us out of anything. Ah, that can only be Martin Bauer. Yep, I know what he looks like. I don't see the point in correcting him. He ran past me in the meadow as I was walking up the hill. He was in quite a hurry. Ah, that would explain my lord's missing rings. What rings are these? 1 gold, 1 silver, a handful of golden, and a book the Baron was planning to give the Abbey. A book? Historia Tassii. I believe so, yes. I went to pack the Baron's things, and they were missing. I'm not gonna, like, be a total narc. Why do you think Martin stole the rings? Yesterday I caught the boy with the hat, Martin, I suppose, peering in through the windows. I could have admonished him at the time, but, well, he seemed harmless. That's a shame. I hope the Baron won't be too put out. My lord is a man of some means. He won't miss the gold or the rings. I do think he will be upset about the book. He was quite excited for the abbot to see it. There's something going on with this book. For sure. In any case, I must finish preparing the horses. It was good talking to you, Andreas. Of course, I hope this rain lets up for you soon. God willing. Until next time. Until then. Please. Reliquary containing the hand of St. Moritz. Looked at this already. Yeah, I didn't think so. God bless you, Andreas. God bless you, Mother Cecilia. Is there something I can help you with? No, my apologies. Until later. Yeah, I don't think she wants us hanging around for no particular reason. Oh, almost forgot to put the cat. Very important. Gonna check the cemetery again. Since we found this. Oh, Brother Gerhard's grave was disturbed recently. The rank must have buried something. So he did that yesterday after we left last time. I need to dig up this grave if I want to know what he was up to. I bet Otto would help me if I asked. Interesting. Seems like a big ask. Nothing new in here. Oh, this is wonderful. The rest of the abbey is soaked, and there's not a drop of rain in here. Good thing the abbot had Otto replace the roof to the scriptorium and library last month. I didn't necessarily intend to start working right away, but fair enough. With the calefactory next door, we can stay warm while everyone else is cold and wet. Instead of bragging about our good fortune, you should think upon your brothers and sisters and pray for their health and safety. The abbot's foresight saved a lot of our work and protected what's in the library. The town hasn't fared as well. I'm sure they'll be fine. More importantly, if they're not, I don't care. Brother Guy, your heart is harder than the stone of this floor. Huh. We have the grumpy old monk, but where's the nice one? Brother Piero, haven't you seen him yet today? I did before Brother Guy arrived. Brother Piero left to speak to the abbot some time ago. Interesting. What? Why is Mathieu ringing the bell? It can't be terse already. I pray it stops soon. Such a cacophony is an assault on my frail ears. It's not stopping. I suppose this means we're being summoned to the chapter house. God, give me the strength to endure the rain. It's 50 feet, old man. You'll live. God, give me the strength to endure this man. So we're just not going to investigate? Something is afoot. It's still not stopping. What's going on? This can't all be because of the storm. I should see what's the matter. Yeah, you probably should. I have a fire in here today. I was wondering if this was like a bath or something, but a fire pit makes more sense. A scream. Who screamed? In the chapter house. I think something terrible has happened, Master Andreas. Yeah, sounds that way. Is that the Baron? What's happened? I think it's the Baron. He's been hurt. Bro. He looks dead. Please, Father, where is Brother Florian? Have him come quickly. Be silent, brother. Brother Florian, if you please. So he was with the abbot? Interesting. They were together. I'm sorry, Father. There's nothing to be done. He's dead. And then she screams again for like the fourth time. Sister Marguerite, calm yourself. Sister Gertrude, please take Sister Margaret back to the garden. Yes, Mother Cecilia. God protect us. The Baron was a friend of the Prince Bishop of Freising. Why is he so worried about the Prince Bishop? The Abbey is odd in more than one way. Its existence offends some in the Church. We are far enough from Rome and Mainz that everyone forgets about us, but this could bring unwanted attention. Florian, how easily do you think you could dispose of this body? Okay, that's super suspicious. But I find it hard to believe that Brother Piero would, like, go and kill the Baron with him. Because the Baron was alive this morning. Miklaus saw him leave. Father Abbot, what are you saying? Why are you questioning me? Why are you wasting precious time? Do you want to see the soldiers of the Prince Bishop march up our steps and fling your brothers and sisters out of our home? God protect us. Dieu nous garde. Silence, quiet. Calm yourselves, all of you. Father Abbot, Baron Rothvogel's manservant is already preparing to leave. The Baron's wife should be here in a matter of hours. This is not the time for rash decisions. Yes, you're right, forgive me. But then what will we do? We must send the Baron's man to the court of the Prince Bishop in Freising at once. Mother Cecilia, the Baron said the Prince Bishop's Archdeacon was in Innsbruck for the Imperial Diet. Even better, swift action will silence any whispers of impropriety on our part. Given the Baron's stature, the Archdeacon will undoubtedly come to investigate immediately. We must cooperate with him fully and pray for a speedy resolution. Yes, good. Thank you, Mother Cecilia. Brother Wacław, please detain Brother Piero in the cellar until the Prince Bishop's man arrives. What? Brother Piero? Why? Father Guerneau, I implore you to reconsider. He was caught in flagrante delicto, covered in blood with a knife in his hand. This is like in the heat of the moment, in blazing offense. Father, do you really believe that Brother Piero is capable of such a foul deed? Yes, capable enough when motivated by anger. I had no anger against the Baron, Father Abbot. I simply came across him like this. So, they weren't together? Piero left this morning to go talk to the abbot, and then came into the chapter house. Was the abbot there already? Probably not, right? No anger? Not even for insulting your work and forcing us to give it to Andreas? This is not a subject for debate. When the Prince Bishop's man arrives, we must not be empty-handed. Even if Piero wanted to kill the Baron, he's not physically capable of the act. He can barely hold a... Oh, that's... He can barely hold a brush, much less plunge a knife into a man's body. Be quiet. This is not your affair. Forgive me, Father Guerneau. I just don't think that Brother Piero could have done this. Your position has been noted. My decision stands. Brother Wacław will detain Brother Piero in the cellar until I say otherwise. Brother Florian, please escort Andreas out of the abbey. Andreas, do not show your face here again until tomorrow. Do you understand me? Okay. Suspicious. Yes. Andreas, listen to me. I sympathize with you. I don't think Piero did this either, but this isn't the time to push the others. I'm sure the other brothers and sisters believe Piero is innocent as well, but the abbot is worried about the Prince Bishop's attention. If you have any recommendations, I'd love to hear them. Take a few hours to calm your nerves and your mind. You need to think clearly. Go to the Druckers, eat a good meal, and come back at noons. We won't have much time, but tap on my window with a small stone and I'll let you in. Let me in for what? To examine the body. Okay. Don't have any medical training. This is where that would come in handy. Interesting. Oh, I forgot to give Clara the fucking money. Oops. Should probably do that. So he's left already. This wasn't here before. A letter to the Baron from Prior Ferenc. Baron Rothvogel. Trotz eure Wiederholten Aufforderungen und unterschwelligen Drohungen den Inquisitoren in Innsbruck meine lässige Gewohnheiten zu offenbaren, werde ich bei eurem Besuch in Hirsau keine Rituale für euch durchführen. Bitte beendet dieses terroristische Streben sofort zum Wohle unserer beider Seelen. So, interesting. I don't know all of these words. There's something about an Inquisitor in Innsbruck. For which I sought you out, or for which I was sought out by you in Hirsau. Something like no ritual. Furin is like to lead, so something about him leading a ritual, or no ritual. And then please end these something quickly. For the sake of both of our souls. So there's something. The Baron sought someone in the monastery out, sought for rank out, something about a ritual, and then he's saying, please end this for the sake of both of our souls. So the Baron was seeking for rank out to do some kind of ritual thing, if I'm understanding this remotely correctly, which my German is very poor, so who knows. My god, Lorenz was blackmailing for rank to get him to perform some kind of occult ritual. Yeah, this must be the blackmail part that I don't really understand. It's one thing to read books on magic, but few are foolish enough to attempt to actually practice what's written in them. Some of the substances used in these rituals are dangerous, even lethal, and God forbid someone in the Inquisition finds out about it. So, yeah, he mentioned the Inquisitors in Innsbruck. But this wasn't here when we came by earlier this morning, which is interesting. So Frank must have left it there, like, very recently. before I forget again, I'm gonna try and give the money to, Clara. I don't wanna go talk to Klaus. No. Good day, Andreas. Back from the Abbey already? It's only noon. Helen, get down. Down. Good girl. Andreas, are you alright? No, something terrible has happened. Oh god, what happened? No, forgive me. Come inside and sit down for a minute. If it's not an imposition, I'd appreciate a moment to rest. Not an imposition at all. My friends are always welcome in my home. Besides, I could use your opinion on something. So we definitely have to talk to him. So I'm gonna have to try and remember not to forget about Clara afterwards. Good day, Andreas. Should I fix you a plate? If it's not too much trouble, I'd appreciate it. It would be my pleasure. The rain has got everyone's spirits down. Hopefully a good meal can cheer you up. Hello? Hello, Bertolt. How are you? Sleepy. Come back to my workshop. I'm going to do a new run of Till Eulenspiegel. There was a printing a few years ago in Strasbourg, but it was awful, almost bereft of illustrations. So this is the book that he wanted to show us last night, but we bailed on him. And he's not even mentioning that, which is very kind of him. What do you think of these new ones? Pretty, so it's like a wood block. I like it. But I don't think the background is that busy. They look wonderful. Excellent work. Thank you. I'll be sure to let Marie know. Are these her woodcuts? They are. The drawings were mine, but she did the block cuts. I've got enough talent to draw the designs, but only she can do the woodcuts and the type. So he's a printer and he can't even set type? Bless us, O Lord, in these your gifts, which we are about to receive from your bounty. Through Christ our Lord. Amen. 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 I'm hungry. Amen. Andreas, what were the bells for at the Abbey? They were sounding for a long time. The visiting nobleman, Lorenz Rothvogel, was found murdered in the chapter house. God in heaven, he just rode by here yesterday. Yes, and it gets worse. One of the elderly brothers I work with in the scriptorium, Piero, was accused of the crime. That's awful. A murder in Kiersau. How could a monk do such a thing? Well, slow down, Marie. I mean, I guess a monk almost certainly did do it. But it probably wasn't that monk. I'm sorry, Andreas. The Baron seemed like an interesting man, and I know he's been a patron of the Abbey for years. How did he die? Could it have been an accident? Does the abbot really believe that Brother Piero killed him? You've always spoken of him in the kindest terms. I'd rather spare you the details, but it's hard to believe what happened to him was natural. But no, I can't believe Piero did it. I can't imagine him harming anyone. Oh, don't hold back on my account. I've had children, and even helped Agnes deliver a few. I'm not squeamish. Yes, blood. But if it wasn't Brother Piero, who do you think could have done it? I did see Lucky Steinauer get into a shouting argument with Lorenz yesterday, just before I walked by your place. Well, that's an interesting thing to bring up. I don't think Lucky came to the monastery and stabbed him in the early morning. Lucky? Why would he have cause to shout at a nobleman? I'll eat my egg pasta first. There's probably something else going on that you wouldn't know about, dear. What do you mean by that? I'm not one to trade gossip, but if you really want to know, talk to some of the other women in town. So I've noticed this a couple times, that typically when you have a double S, one of them will be written the standard S, and one will be the long S. But with Marie and Klaus, they seem to both use the long S. And I'm not sure if that's because, well, they have the short S still at the beginning of the word. I was going to say maybe they're trying to economize on type in the font they're using. It only has the one style of S, but that kind of proves that wrong. So I'm not sure why they're both the long S. I'm sure it's some quirk of historical type that I'm not aware of, though. Or Mother Cecilia up at the Abbey. Why Mother Cecilia? I didn't realize she saw much of Tassing. Oh, there's no need for that. Lucky is a forthright man. I'm sure if you ask him, he'll tell you what the argument was about. Thank you both. That's good advice. There's something else, though. When Lorenz and I were walking through the meadow, the widow Camperin came out of the woods and... Yes? Well, she cursed him. I'm not surprised. Ottilia's late husband, Rannig, ran afoul of Lorenz on his last visit to Tassing. I don't remember the details, but Rannig died just last year, and Ottilia hasn't been the same since. Is she implying that he died in close connection to when the Baron showed up? She was always an old bitch, even before she was old. That's a bit rude. Klaus, that's enough. She's had to deal with Job's lot in life. And now she lives all alone at the edge of the woods. There are rumors she's going to lose her property soon. I do pity her, even if she is a bitter woman. There should be some exception in the law for her to inherit. It seems like it would be more just, yes. I'm sure if I knew imperial law, I would have a comment here about that. It wasn't always this way. I think my great-grandmother inherited this land way back when. Well, if men changed it, they can change it back. You're right as always, my dear. Enough about Ottilia. Is there anyone else you think may have done it? I don't know if he has any ill intent, but Prior Ferenc has been acting strangely since the day Lorenz arrived. Perhaps an academic disagreement. I know they're both avid readers, both of classics and new works. On his last visit, the Baron bought a book on astronomy from me. I know the Prior has some similar interests. But would the Prior kill someone over a simple disagreement? Interesting. So we're not mentioning the note that we found about the occult ritual. It depends on the nature of the disagreement. Many have been killed. Many have killed or been killed for their beliefs. What is an opinion for some is a testament of faith for others and worth killing for. That may be so, but I've never seen that sort of anger in Prior for rank, not even when Guerneau was made abbot instead of him. Afterward, he seemed bitter, but never violent. That just doesn't seem to be part of his character. So, Lucky, the widow, and the abbey prior. Anyone else? So, the prior for rank definitely would have a motive. If he's supposed to have delivered that letter to the Baron, at which point the Baron came up to talk to him, and then he killed him. But what's I'm curious about is that the note wasn't there when we checked that morning. And Nikolaus didn't take it with him. So... There was something strange when we approached the abbey together. Mother Cecilia was outside with some of her sisters. Mother Cecilia scowled and took the nuns inside without saying a word. It sounds like they have a history, at least. I do not know Mother Cecilia personally, but I have never heard anyone speak badly of her. If she had cause to dislike the Baron, I must believe she had a good reason. Yes, like, I think I mentioned last time that the Baron probably was trying to mess with one of the nuns, since he's like a known womanizer. Well, Andreas, it sounds like there's a lot to look into. Thank you for your care. It's helped me understand how I can help Hera. You are always welcome here, Andreas, anytime. Yeah. You are especially welcome with this one. God be with you, Andreas. Thank you. God be with you. Two days remain. I just saw that. So I guess that's before the Archdeacon comes back. I could talk to Lady Steinauer. Lucky Steinauer. He's probably working in front of his house. The widow Kemperin lives south of here near Franz Bauer. Prior for rank is usually at the scriptorium, but I won't be able to talk to him until tomorrow. Still, nothing would prevent me from talking to Mother Cecilia in the convent. But if I don't attend Brother Florian's examination of the body at the abbey, he'll have to do it without me. Interesting. So that leads me to believe... Wow, we have a lot of quests suddenly. And this finally appeared. So this is all out of order. Frank said he would not perform a ritual for the Baron, even if the Baron threatened to turn him into Inquisitors in Innsbruck. Interesting. So, I'm led to believe, by the way that Andreas said that if I don't attend, he'll have to do it without me, that if I do, I can maybe only pick one of these leads at the moment. And if I do the other ones... Yeah, alternatively, I can begin my investigation by following my other leads. It really sounds like I can either attend the inspection, or I can do these other things. But maybe I can still give Clara her money. So I don't forget about that. Hey there, Andreas. I fixed the fence already. Hello, Andreas. Hello, Clara. I have something for you. Oh? This should be enough to pay my rent and the taxi or the Abbey. Andreas, this is far more than your rent payment. You can't accept this. So we're just giving her everything that we got. Interesting. Let's quote the Bible. He who sows sparingly will also reap sparingly, and he who sows bountifully will also reap bountifully. I wonder if we might regret this later on, though, if we need the money. Oh, Andreas, thank you. But how did you even get so much coin? Are you sure you'll have enough to spare? No, I'm not sure at all. I convinced Brother Mathieu to pay me a bit early. I wanted to be sure you could pay your taxes in time. God bless you 1,000 times, Andreas. You don't know what this means to us. I'm happy to help, Clara. It's the Christian thing to do. You're a good man, Andreas. Thank you. I'll let you move on with your day. God bless you. Till later. I did kind of do it right in front of Peter, but it was that or forget completely. Well enough, though there's too much to do and not enough hours to do it all. The storm made such a mess of the town, and there's the leaks in the roof at home. Then there's all that wool, Lord. What's this about wool? The ewes are near to lambing, so we sheared them last week. I must have spent ages washing all that wool. Have you ever smelled wet, dirty wool, Andreas? Ugh, there's nothing worse. Now that it's clean, we've got to spin it, and that takes an age all its own. Lord, I don't know where I'll find the time. Won't Clara help you? Certainly. Sometimes I forget you are from Nuremberg, Andreas. Clara, Hetty, Veronica, Kat, even little Ursula will be there, though she makes mischief more than she helps. At least the work goes quickly with the women working together. Lively conversation helps pass the time. Sometimes we even get visitors. What kind of visitors? Sometimes the men in town will come by to say hello. Peter, York, perhaps even Otto. Didn't realize men were invited. Might I visit? You're welcome to come. I'm sure the others would be glad of your company too. Johann Bauer will be there to keep an eye on us. As long as you stay outside, I can't see what harm revisiting would cause. Well, I do have a murder investigation, so I think I'll just consider it. Come on, everyone will be glad to see you mingling with regular folk. Hetty especially. She worries you think too highly of yourself. We meet at Johann Bauer's home. Come by in the morning or afternoon and speak to Johann. I should get back to work. It was a pleasure running into you, Andreas. Be well, Ava. Okay. Attend the bee. Oh, it says in here I could learn something about who would have wanted to kill Lawrence. So I can make it relevant to my murder investigation. Andreas. Hey, Andreas. Say hello to the girls today? Ava and Clara? No, I mean the chickens. Peter, James, and John. I didn't, know that I could pet the chickens. You better not let Father Thomas know. That's beyond sacrilegious. Clara said the same thing. She thinks I'm being irreverent. But Peter, James, and John witnessed Jesus' greatest moments of glory and his darkest trials. And I was thinking, that's how it is with the girls and me. They see everything I deal with around here. Word of advice, don't mention that to anyone else, especially the father. It's fine, I get it. I'll just call them the girls from now on. I don't recall your family eating eggs. What do you do with all of them? Oh, we sell them to the Bowers. Clara says we need the extra money for taxes. Anyway, I should get back to it. Until later, Andreas. Till then. So we've completed 2 quests. And I don't want to miss out on examining the body. But we can maybe check out some additional locations. Hey, Muller, you seen my son? I saw him running from the Abbey this morning, actually. That fucking rat. That layabout was asleep when I went into the fields. He told his mother he was sick. Did he say anything to you, like where he was going? Not a word. Figures, no manners at all. Must be his mother's influence. He sure as shit didn't learn that behavior from me. He might have. If you see him again, will you tell Kat? She's driving me crazy about it. What's got her worried? There ain't a thing in this world that doesn't worry my wife. Martin's no exception. The boy's always running off. Always comes home, too. Doesn't stop her getting hysterical about it. He's her son. Stands to reason she'd be concerned if he disappeared. Yeah, well, I didn't ask you, did I? Talk to Kat or don't, it doesn't matter to me. Till later, Muller. Till then. Yeah, I think it's probably best to just go do the investigation of the body so that we don't miss out on that. Andreas, this way. There you are. I'm glad the storm didn't delay you. Now, even though I gave instructions that I was not to be disturbed, we must work quickly. Seeing a corpse up close can be unsettling for some. I hope you're up to it. I paged through the Fasciculus Medicinae, seen its wound illustrations, quite graphic. Books don't quite convey the reality of the situation, Andreas, or the smell. Now then, you should probably take notes as we go. It might be useful later. Ah, of course. I will begin by inspecting his anterior, starting with the face and head. No visible wounds, no blemishes, teeth in good condition, nothing unusual. Neck, shoulders, and chest are ordinary. I need to clean some blood away to examine the torso. Yes, there it is, a puncture wound between the 6th and 7th ribs. It's fairly shallow, though. I estimate it penetrated only about an inch, and it likely came from his own hand. So he stabbed himself in the front chest, but the knife... Was the knife embedded in his front, or like in his back? This again. Wait, he inflicted on himself? How can you tell? From the angle and depth of the strike, it is as though he were holding it in his right hand as he fell on his side. You must know that I was not always a monk. I was a mercenary for 10 long years in Poland. My familiarity with wounds comes from my time on the battlefield. I am no true surgeon, but I am the closest Kearsarge has. If the wound was that shallow, it doesn't sound like it could have been fatal. It wasn't. It's likely incidental, received while falling on his own knife. He must have some other wound that issued forth all the blood we found him in. Then surely this must mean that Brother Piero is innocent. It means it's incredibly likely that Brother Piero stabbed the Baron, but it doesn't explain what actually killed the man. Brother Piero never should have picked up that knife. I'm sure the appearance of guilt never even crossed his mind. Now then, let's move on. Well, there is a sore on his sex, probably from the French disease. I doubt it had anything to do with his murder. I'm not familiar with it. It was first discovered 20 years ago by French soldiers visiting brothels in Naples. Anyway, it seems the Baron was not the most faithful husband, not uncommon among the nobility. So Andreas may not be familiar with it, but I know that they were talking about syphilis. Say nothing. Moving down. Other than a few blisters on his feet from what I assume are new shoes, there's nothing wrong with his legs. Andreas, can you help me turn him over? Of course. There's a slight irregularity in his spine, possibly from an old injury. I don't think it has anything to do with how he died, though. How could that have happened? I have no idea. Whatever the reason, it didn't contribute to his death. Here it is, a rather dramatic head wound. The dark hair and the blood make it difficult to see, but it's quite bad. In my experience, I've never seen someone walk away from a head wound of this severity. How many head wounds have you seen? Too many and not enough. As grim as it sounds, there's always more to learn. Italian doctors try to examine as many corpses as they can to fully understand the mysteries of the body. The battlefields of Poland and Lithuania aren't as ideal a learning environment as the University of Bologna, but they did provide an education of sorts. Why didn't you study medicine in a university? My family was too poor to even consider it. Mercenary work was my way off the farm. The wound looks like it was caused by a single powerful blow from a blunt object, probably no more than 4 or 5 inches across. How can you tell? The skull is cracked in a single spot, and there's a clear impression in the skin around it. It would take extraordinary precision to hit the same spot twice, unless the Baron were already dead. It's likely he didn't die immediately. How long could he have survived for? I've seen similar injuries in battle. The victims don't last more than a few minutes, but it's an agonizing death. Even so, he couldn't have wandered far from where the blow was first struck. So he may not have been attacked in the chapter house? He was either attacked in the chapter house or someplace in the immediate area. The cloister? Yes, that's possible. The cloister connects directly to the chapter house, but there's a high risk of being seen. Anyway, whatever killed the Baron was a blunt instrument of considerable heft. The part that impacted him was likely a little smaller than a fist. Could it have actually been a fist? Ha! No, I don't think the strongest soldier could do this with a punch unless the Baron's head were pressed to the ground. Even then, we would also see damage to his nose or forehead. Could a woman or an elderly person have done it? Anyone could have, given the right weapon and sufficient height. Whoever did this must have caught the Baron unaware. Save the small knife wound, he has no other injuries. I suppose that he was struck, drew his knife to defend himself, and fell on it before Brother Piero discovered him. So I believe we discovered two important things. Piero didn't stab the Baron, and even if he had, that isn't what killed him. Indeed, though it may take more to convince the Archdeacon of Brother Piero's innocence. And we also know that the Baron was killed by a blow to the head from a heavy blunt object. Now you just need to find what caused the blow and learn who struck it. Oh, there is one other item of interest. I found it in the Baron's jacket, but didn't want to open it without you. A note of some kind. As I am a caretaker of men, you are a caretaker of parchment. I leave it to your capable hands. Das Mädchen, das starb in die unschuldige mit ihr. Matutine, Capital House. So, the girl, I don't know, starb, or do I? I think this is like perish, or something. The girl, but I don't understand how this works grammatically. It's the girl something in the unschuldige, I think, is like unsullied. Game of Thrones mention, like innocent maybe. The innocent with her. Matutine would be like a matin, like the time in Capital House. Is that the chapter house? So he got this note that's mentioning a girl and an innocent with her at this time in the chapter house. So did the Baron actually go out at Matins, which is also the time that the anchoress mentioned in her vision? That would be really early. From what Miklaus said, it sounded like he had left later, but maybe not. So he got this note that lured him to the chapter house. So he probably was killed in the chapter house. Thanks, Andreas. The girl who died, and the innocent with her. Maton chapter. The girl? What girl? And what innocent? One of the nuns? It's been years since any of the nuns have died. Perhaps Mother Cecilia would remember. Can you tell who wrote it? Can I mention all of these things? It's possible that they're Swiss, maybe German or Austrian. It's a highly refined Gothic script. As good as Adok and Guy are, I don't think they could replicate this. What? Really? Not them. Who? Brother Piero, I guess. I intend to find out. I wish you good luck finding the answer. Now, I'm sorry to rush you, but I must ask you to leave. Every minute you stay here is an additional Say nothing. Brother Florian, could you open up? It's Werner Stolz, the physician from Tassing. Yes, I'm in the middle of something. Could you return after supper? I'm afraid it can't wait, but Father Garneau asked me to examine the Baron's body. All right, just give me a moment. Andreas, I need you to hide yourself. Of course. Ah, Dr. Stolz. Sorry to keep you waiting. Now, what did you need? The abbot wanted me to examine the Baron's body before his wife arrives. It seems unnecessary at this point, as I've just completed my own examination. Well, then what's the harm in letting me take a look? Dr. Stolz, with all respect, I've finished. The cause of death is clear. If you had arrived an hour ago, I would have had no problem with your assistance. Assistance? I'm a university-trained physician. I can examine a corpse on my own without the help of a battlefield sawbones. Yeah, Werner, I'm remembering, is a complete dickhead. Remain hidden. Regardless of your opinions regarding my abilities, the examination is finished. If you insist on inspecting the body anyway, I must insist that the abbot tells me himself. What? Making me bring the abbot here is a waste of time. It's exactly the point, Werner. We need to waste time so I can escape. So is performing an examination on this corpse immediately after one was just completed. Idiotic. I'll return with Father Garneau presently. That was close. Now quickly, leave through the cloister before they return. Of course. Thank you, Brother Florian. Think nothing of it. I'll see you tomorrow. Until then. That's a long time we were examining that body. I should find someone to eat with. I can't get that note out of my head. The girl who died and the innocent with her. What could it mean, and who wrote it? Can you talk to Mother Cecilia now? Of course, she's not in here. Can't make it easy for me. Should find someone to share supper with. Most of the families in town are welcoming. Lady Salome may also want to speak with me after she arrives at the Abbey's guest house. Maybe I could even visit Smoky in the forest. Interesting. So I need to talk to Lucky. I need to talk to Ottilia. I need to convince someone to let me dig up the body. talk to her. Is this happening now? Is it Francois I'm supposed to talk to? No, Johann. Andreas, you got supper plans? Why don't you join us at our table? I don't know if I'm gonna eat. They said to come in the morning, right? So I think I can do that. So should I eat with... I'm not sure she'll let me eat with her. You want something? Can't even talk to her right now. Interesting. Oh, what's this? This must be Raneg's cane. It's strong, sturdy, and here the head has broken off. The break looks recent. Could Otilia have used this cane to kill Lorenz? Otilia, your husband's cane is broken. Do you remember how that happened? How should I know? Everything in here is broken and falling apart. The head broke off at some point. I don't remember how. Alright. Ha. Interesting. I hope it wasn't her. Maybe I could ask somebody that works with wood how that could have happened. They mentioned, Lady Salamea. It's not in my quest log to talk to her, though. I don't think so. I think I'll eat with her and then try and talk to the other people tomorrow. It's a new dog to pet. First Chin. First Chin. Cute dog. Pet 5 animals, achievement unlocked. Ah, Master Mahler. Would you care to share supper at my table? I would like to talk to you about my late husband. My Lady Rothvogel. I would be honored to break bread with you. Thank you. Please sit. Bless us, O Lord, in these your gifts we are about to receive from your bounty. Through Christ our Lord. Amen. Amen. I find myself rather out of place here without the comfort of the Baron. Thank you for agreeing to share a meal with me, Master Mahler. Of course, the honor is mine. It is a terrible thing what happened to the Baron. It has given me the shock of my life. I'm trying to find comfort where I can, and my lady is in the Lord. Can I show her the pin? Not that there is much comfort to be found in these cold and dreary alpine towns. Lorenz and I had meant to take a tour of them before returning home to Worms, but... well, return we shall. I'm sorry for your loss, my lady. This sorrow is just the first of many, I'm afraid. Are you married yourself, Master Mahler? A woman waits for me in Nuremberg. When I finish my work here, we will be wed. Do you not look forward to the responsibilities of marriage, Master Mahler? Perhaps it's no surprise you and Lorenz became fast friends. I imagine he saw something of himself in you. Rarely have I met someone with such a depth of knowledge and a thirst for debate. His thirsts were not limited to his scholarly pursuits, regrettably. His lust for drink and women once afflicted him with great remorse, though such shame faded with time. Lorenz was a flawed man. His various infidelities were no secret to me, but are we not all flawed before Christ? I loved him as a wife should properly love her husband, but I would not say that we were friends. I only hope his appetites are not what led him to this end. I've been searching for the answer to that quandary myself. Were you and Lorenz so close that you would trouble yourself so? My motivation is personal. My mentor, Brother Piero, was found with the Baron's body, but I do not believe he killed your husband. If not him, then who? I don't wish to speak out of turn. I see. Well, I suppose it shouldn't surprise me that my husband made his share of enemies. He was a man of many opinions, and he gave them freely to all who would listen, and some who would not. The previous abbot, Father Matthias, seemed to appreciate that about him. This new abbot is, perhaps, more conservative. Father Matthias was an open-minded man from all I've heard, a true scholar. Father Garneau doesn't share Matthias's passion for the written word, yet endures the expense of it. To be put in such a position would make any man unhappy, I understand. I wonder what he will make of Lorenz's gift to the abbey. Wait for her to continue. He had found a book about the history of Tassing. He believed it contained some scandalous details. He said it corroborated fears Father Matthias had expressed, but he didn't share the particulars with me. Was the appearance of the book peculiar or noteworthy in any way? It was neither large nor small, bound in blue leather. Unfortunately, I never examined it closely. My apologies. So at least I know it's blue. I have some education, but I lack my husband's thirst for knowledge. If you find the book, hopefully its significance will be apparent. If God wills it. Will you be returning home to Worms soon? Perhaps in a few days. I wait on the arrival of the Archdeacon. When his investigation is complete, I will go. Though the circumstances of my time here are dire, I am in no hurry to return. Wait for her to continue. You are a disarming man, Master Mahler, and much too easy to talk to. To be frank, I do not know what will become of me when I return to Worms. My title and residence may be in jeopardy. Lorenz and I have a son, but he is young yet. I don't know many of the legalities, only that my position is at some risk. So again, if I had, the law degree, I could help her here. You're in a difficult position, my lady. I will pray for your happiness. As will I, Master Mahler. I'm sorry to cut our conversation short, but I fear I must rest. Thank you for having me at your table. Be well, Master Mahler. And whatever anyone says of my husband, I'm certain he appreciated your friendship. It's Compline. Should get some sleep. Everyone else will probably be asleep. sadly. So I have a lot of people to talk to and a body to dig up and a spinning bee to attend. I have sleep here as well. That's day 2 done, I guess. Oh, it's not morning. It's the middle of the night, Ursula. What are you doing up here? I see. Haha. Would you like me to tell you a story? Would that help you sleep? How about the black cockerel that terrorized the city with a single egg? You know how your brother, Big Georg, keeps his hens to lay eggs? Well, in the city of Basel, there was a black cockerel that didn't belong to anyone. It just strutted up and down the streets and scared little boys and girls, pecking at them when they got too close. Cockerels can't lay eggs, but this one did, right in the middle of town. And the people were scared because that could only mean one thing. The cockerel had laid a basilisk egg. The basilisk is half cockerel, half snake. Everything it touches or even looks at withers and dies. The wealthy people of Basel used mirrors so they didn't have to look directly at the cockerel. And they tried to reach the egg before it could hatch. But no matter how they tried to get to the egg, the cockerel pecked at them and beat them back. When the basilisk finally hatched, the people prayed to God for salvation. And within the hour, a knight with a shining shield rode a goof. And that's why basilisk statues are all over Basel. Time to get back to work. Or, solve the murder. No wonder... It will be fun to have you spinning with us, Andreas. I hope we see you the spinning bee, Andreas. Okay. I will be taking a break to eat and so on. And then we'll get back to day 3.